When it's raining really hard, people often say, "It's raining cats and dogs." We all know what they mean. It's pouring. It's coming down in sheets. The kind of rain where umbrellas don't help much, and you reconsider whether you actually need to go outside. But have you ever stopped and thought about that phrase? Because when you really think about it, it makes absolutely no sense. Cats and dogs don't fall from the sky. They don't come down with the rain. And yet somehow that phrase stuck. So where did it come from? Why cats? Why dogs? And who was the first person to look at a storm and think, "Yep, that's definitely raining pets"? That's a question you've probably wondered about. Why is that? Today, when someone says it's raining cats and dogs, they just mean it's raining really hard. Not a drizzle, not a light shower. This is heavy rain. The kind that floods streets, pounds rooftops, and makes everything outside look blurry. The phrase is mostly used in English-speaking countries, and it's been around for a long time, hundreds of years, in fact. But here's where things get interesting. Unlike a lot of common expressions, there is no single agreed-upon explanation from where this one came from. Historians, linguists, and word nerds have been arguing about it for centuries. There are several theories. Some are practical, some are strange, and some are a little uncomfortable. Let's start with the most well-known one. One of the most popular explanations takes us back to old European cities, especially England, hundreds of years ago. But then, streets weren't paved the way they are now. There was no modern drainage system, no storm sewers, no runoff channels. When it rained hard, water had nowhere to go. Streets flooded quickly, and unfortunately, cities also had a lot of stray animals, cats, dogs, rats, livestock. When heavy rain hit, floodwaters could carry debris, and sometimes animals, through the streets. After a big storm, people might wake up to find dead animals washed into alleyways or roadways. So the idea is this: after the rain stopped, it looked as though cats and dogs had literally fallen from the sky. Not because they had, but because they ended up everywhere once the water receded. It's not a pleasant image, but it is one that would have been unforgettable. And unforgettable images tend to turn into language. This theory is widely repeated and often taught as a likely origin. But there's a problem. There's no solid written proof that people actually used the phrase that way at the time. So let's move on. What we do know for sure is when the phrase starts appearing in writing. One of the earliest recorded uses comes from the 1600s. Writers of that time used it casually, as if readers already understood what it meant. That tells us something important. By then, the phrase was already common, which means it likely existed in spoken language long before anyone wrote it down. That's often how idioms work. People say them for years, even generations, before they ever show up in books. By the 1700s, raining cats and dogs was firmly established in English, and it's stayed there ever since. So why those animals? Why not cows and chickens? Why not horses and sheep? Because cats and dogs were everywhere. They lived alongside people, in homes, in streets, in barns. They were familiar, relatable, easy to picture. And they had personality. Cats were often associated with chaos or unpredictability, dogs with noise and disorder. Together they painted a picture of complete mayhem, a storm so intense it felt like everything had gone wrong at once. Language loves exaggeration, and this phrase is a perfect example. So why do we still say it today? Because it's vivid, because it's memorable, because it instantly tells you exactly how bad the weather is. You don't need an explanation. You hear it. You get it. Even if the original meaning is lost, the image does the work. That's how language survives, not through logic, but through usefulness. So now, It's not actually raining cats and dogs. No pets are falling from the sky. No one needs to grab a leash or a carrier. It's just another example of how language holds onto strange ideas long after their origins are forgotten. Because sometimes the weirdest phrases are the ones that last the longest. And now you know. If you enjoy questions like this, subscribe for more.